Okay, TLC review 2013. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Make a video response. I'm wide open to debate people. I don't care if you agree, disagree with me. Thumb up the video if you like it. Subscribe. You already know what it is. Let's go ahead and get on with the review. Okay, the first match in this card was Shield versus CM Punk. This was a good opener. I enjoyed the match for one. It was very, very well done in the fact that it wasn't essentially the greatest technical wrestling match, but there was a lot of story told. You know, not in the build. I mean, to be quite frank, this card had horrible build mostly. There's only really two matches really that had any build to them at all. The rest pretty much had none at all. So going into this pay-per-view, you were basically hoping that this pay-per-view was just going to be so great in terms of the wrestling quality and the matches themselves that it just completely blows away in your mind the fact that the build of this was garbage, and you can actually watch this and after all this garbage build watch the show and be like, oh my god, this show is just fucking, I can't believe it, this shit is great. You know, and was the show great? I mean, I'll get to that at the end of this review, but this match was great. The whole time Punk was pretty much getting his ass handed to him. He was getting off offense where he needed to, and there was a part in the match where he had Reigns who was dominating Punk, and he had Punk on the outside. He went for a spear, and he ended up hitting his eye on JBL's chair because he went over the announce table. And the match ended when Ambrose was in the ring with CM Punk, and Reigns went for the spear. CM Punk got out of the way. He hits Ambrose. CM Punk throws Reigns out of the ring real quick because he's still all fucked up because his eye, you could see his eye was all swollen. Like, they got a good close-up of it. Like, he really did mess himself up in that hit that he took outside when he hit JBL's chair going for the spear on Punk. But Punk capitalizes in the ring on Reigns' spear to Ambrose, picks up the victory. It was a well story told match. You see Punk just, quickly just, running off, because he doesn't want nothing to do with the three guys. The match is over. He's like, phew, because he won by the skin of his teeth. He knows, that he got really lucky type thing. It was just a really, really, really well told match. I can't really complain about it too much. Okay, after this we get a backstage segment with AJ Lee basically promoting a match with Natalya, which was next. She did a good job in this promo. It was a very well thought out promo, I thought. And then we had the match itself, Natalya versus AJ Lee. Natalya just put on a wrestling clinic with AJ. I mean, this was a great match. The two of them really worked well together. Natalya was just giving AJ Lee all of this offense, and she did her best to make AJ look good, I think. It looked like Natalya was going to win. There was some outside interference from Tamina a little bit there. No real contact, in terms of fists or anything, just, getting up on the ring apron type of thing. And caused enough of a distraction for AJ Lee to be able to get the roll up once you had Natalya, who had at that point looking like she was going to win. She had just gotten the clothesline with, that spinning clothesline. AJ was down, and instead of going for the pinch, she goes for the sharpshooter. And at this point, AJ Lee goes for the roll up and grabs her hair so she doesn't kick out. 1, 2, 3, end of match. But where I thought Natalya was going to win here, and then they could have AJ and Tamina kind of feud, break them apart and have them feud. I mean, I thought that would have been the right way to go, but they didn't do that. But that's okay. This was a great match. I really enjoyed it, regardless of the build going to it. This was just an awesome match. They went out there and had just amazing outing. So, I mean, at this point, I can't complain. I mean, I could complain about the build, but the match was so good that I'm just willing to forget about it. Okay, Sandow comes down to the ring. He cuts a promo for his match that he's about to have with Langston for the IC Championship. This match had no build to it. It really wasn't all that good. I really didn't enjoy this match that much. It was once again proving that Langston is green. He really needs to come into his own, not only on the microphone, but also as an in-ring performer. I mean, he's a power-lifting guy, so I expect to see him do all kinds of power moves, not just clotheslines and splashes and stuff like that. The only move that he does that requires any strength whatsoever is probably his finisher. I want to see him do, like release suplexes, and these like Germans and all kinds of different suplexes, these big power moves, like, power bombs, you know, just these moves that require feats of strength. You know what I'm saying? He's a power lifter. That's just what he needs to do. He just hasn't fallen into that category yet. You know, he's too green in the ring, just like he's green on the mic. And this match just proved how green he was. You know, I think Sandow himself at least has a character. He's decent in the ring. He's a lot better off than, you know, Langston is at this point. But they're trying to push Langston as this face. And it's just a horrible generic baby face that WWE tends to run with. What their idea of a baby face is, which is this just generic common type baby face that you see it all the time, that they consistently do with guys that they have no idea what the hell they're doing with, type of thing. They really need to do something with him, but I'll continue that on a whole nother video. Then we got the elimination style fatal 4-way. You got the Real Americans versus Rey Mysterio and the Big Show versus Curtis Axel and Ryback versus the current champions, the Rhodes Brothers, who retain the belts. Just a great match. Really, there was a lot of good spots in it. You know, the crowd was really into it. I think Rey Mysterio, considering, you know, how banged up he is and he just came back from injury, I think he went out there and put on a really good showing. Overall, everybody just did a great job. This is just a great match. Okay, promoting WWE toys on a pay-per-view is stupid. I just want to say that real quick. They had a segment where they were promoting these stupid plush dolls, and it's like, couldn't you have saved this for Raw? A, people paid for this, including me, and B, this is something that you want a lot of people to see, and promoting this on pay-per-view where not all your fan base is going to see it, because not everybody is going to watch the show, because not everyone's going to pay to see it. I mean, I'm just saying. And then really, I mean, come on, the next segment we had this stupid match with Brodus Clay and R-Truth. I mean, come on pay-per-view, you know, they break up Tons of Funk. This whole thing was over some stupid dance thing or whatever the hell it was over. I mean, come on, give me a break. Really, you can make me pay to see this garbage. The match was garbage. It was pointless. Tons of Funk breaks up. Who cares? The Psychedelics leave him. Whatever. R-Truth picks up the fluke victory. The only bonus about this, at least, that I can pull out of this is that Consequences Creed got airtime on a pay-per-view, or Xavier Woods is what they call him in WWE, which I hate the fact that they call him a rookie when he's been around for a while. I mean, but they're not going to acknowledge that because he was in TNA, and that's like a sin to acknowledge another wrestling show on WWE because, you know, nothing else exists. And then the bullshit continues with the next match, The Miz versus Kofi Kingston, from some bullshit that happened on the pre-show. They booked this for the pay-per-view because they had this little beef during the pre-show that's been ongoing for whatever. Why don't you save this match for Raw? I mean, and if nobody wants to agree with that, and that's watching this video, that's perfectly fine. You have to agree with me upon anything, you know, it's all opinion, it's not fact. But in the sense that the crowd was chanting boring, I mean, come on. That says enough right there. Nobody even cared about this. Neither did I. Kofi wins. The match was... nah. Next, the Wyatts versus Bryan. The Wyatts win. I really don't have a problem with this. You know, it's a handicap match, you know. It's what it is. You know, I think Bryan looked good. He went out there. He put on some good stuff. He put a little bit of a clinic on, even though he got his ass handed to him. You know, he did do a good job in the match, and he did look strong. Especially against, you know, three big guys. I mean, he looked pretty good. You know, I do hope that they don't continue this trend of him losing. I hope that he goes to the Rumble and wins, and then goes to Mania and beats Orton for the belt. You know, that would be a great idea, considering Orton won his match with Cena, which I'll talk about next. But this was a good match. Now I'll talk about Orton Cena. It was good. You know, it wasn't great, but it was good. The crowd was into it. You know, I'm glad that Cena didn't win. He's not a 15-time champion, thank God. You know, going into this, they both agreed to hand over their titles to Triple H, you know, and there you go. You got them both hanging. You know, who's going to be the champion? Orton wins. Smart move. You know, let's just hope that if there is a rematch, which more than likely there will be at the Rumble, that Orton does retain and goes on to win it. I guess the next one would be Elimination Chamber or whatever, and then go to Mania and give the belt to Bryan. You know, have it handed to him after Bryan wins the Rumble, goes to Mania, and faces Orton to win the belt. That would be the right idea to do coming out of this. That's the smart move. Will they do that? I don't know. Will they have a main event WrestleMania that does not involve John Cena? I mean, that'll be a big step for WWE. You know, we'll have to see if they do that. I don't know if they will do that. That's why, at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But as over as Daniel Bryan is, I don't think WWE realizes how many people will actually buy this if they book this right and build him to win. But they have to start now. He just lost to the Wyatts, but that's a handicap match, a 3-on-1 with 3 big dudes. Okay, fine. But now give him some wins under his belt. Let him get some kind of revenge or something like that. Don't end this here. Let him continue on and look strong and overcome these obstacles and these adversities with the Wyatts, and have him go into the Rumble or something like that. And at the Rumble, eliminate all 3 of them or something in the Rumble match or whatever, and then go on to win the Rumble. Go to Mini, win the belt. However you do it, just do it. WWE, you have to do something with this because he's so damn over. Even when he's not wrestling in the match or in the segment, people are chanting his name. I mean, really, he's the most over guy in the company. He is the face of the company, arguably. So do something, WWE, please. So final thoughts. I'll give it a B. It wasn't a bad show. It's definitely not a C show. It should be a C show in the sense of the fact that they had such a horrible build to this, but the show was just so damn good that I'm not going to knock it for the building of the matches. I could have did without the segment promoting the toys. I could have did without the Tons of Funk R-Truth segment, which did nothing except promote Xavier Woods, which that wasn't the point of the segment, so there was no point in this segment. This could have been saved for Raw, just like the toy thing could have been saved for Raw, just like the Kofi Kingston Miz thing, that could have been saved for Raw. The IC Championship match really wasn't all that good, but Langston is green, so I'm not going to really take that away from the show. Build aside, this was a great show. So, there you go. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Make a video response. I'm wide open to debate with you guys. If you like it, if you didn't like it, that's cool. Thumb up the vid if you liked the video. If you agree with me, you know what it is. Peace.